What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I want to talk about safe lane Yin. Me and Power Man kind of have a role reversal. I don't typically play carry, especially melee carry, and he doesn't typically play phase. So we're both kind of like in positions that, we're not super comfortable with. But we give it a good try and, we're able to get some work done. Now the phase Yin combo is really good. If you haven't tried it, with her ultimate, the attack speed increase that Yin gets is just amazing. And she can really put out some damage, especially with that 100% cleave. Their jungler and mid laner ended up rotating on us and got a successful gank just a few minutes earlier. We ended up trading a kill for a kill, but all in all, it ended up being bad for us. We downed this tower at about 7 minutes and 45 seconds, which is a really good time. And me and FaZe ended up going back to tower and rotating to the off lane. Now, being on the orange side of the map, I prefer staying in the safe lane because you are closer to those raptors. But their Murdoch and FaZe weren't really rotating. So I decided, hey, let's go ahead and head over there and have our Wukong rotate. That way we can keep pressure on their ADC. And I'm actually out-farmed him so far. I'm 1 ahead of him on level and I think 2 on card points. So by me coming to this lane, we're going to be able to stay at the same level and farm as them. For the next few minutes, there's just a little bit of back and forth. Nothing major happens. Our jungler really isn't coming over to help gank any of the 3 lanes. And we're struggling trying to get a pick on their team and actually get an advantage. Their Grux is doing a great job of just showing support and really getting in there and, helping either get the kill or protect somebody. And as you see here, I'm going in on this Murdoch. Boom, Grux shows up. We end up actually getting a 3-pick right here with FaZe, Grux, and Murdoch all going down and push that off-lane tower and really get that tower secured. At close to 15 minutes in the match, at this point, objectives need to be taken, especially if you get a 3-pick. 1 pick or 2, you should be pushing objectives. But if you get a 3, you might even be able to get 2 objectives. Which, luckily, we go up and end up securing this off-lane tower. Their Murdoch rushed over here and tried to keep us from getting this tower. And I actually end up getting the kill on him as well. And that's just another point that I'd really like to make is, even though I don't play ADC all that much, positioning is everything. And, when a tower's lost, there is no reason to die for a tower that's, only going to have 1 hit on it. Even if Murdoch was able to get over there and we retreated for whatever reason, our minions were going to take that tower. So it's really important to not sacrifice yourself needlessly. Which we end up getting a good bit of damage on this tower because we had it pushed. I get another pick on this Grux and we just retreat out of here. There's no reason to stick around. We got 3 of them down. Let's, head to mid lane and try to down that. At that 15-minute mark when we ended up getting that 3-pick, that really changed the direction of this game. We were all kind of at a standstill, but this really ended up being, hey, we're making progress here. They had a lot of staggered deaths, and, at this point in the game, staggered deaths are really hurtful for your team. You're sitting at a, about a 30 to 45-minute respawn time, and just, you know, constantly having one hero down can really hurt the team. After this mid lane engagement where we got a little damage done on their tower, I ended up securing Raptors and headed back to base to get some upgrades and start switching into my crit. Now, I made this Yin deck right before the game, and like I said, I typically don't play ADC, so I actually switched into crit before I was really ready to. Our jungler ended up rotating over on this Murdoch and FaZe, and we ended up getting both of them down, which, you know, there's another big disappointment for their team at 19 minutes in. 19 minutes in, with me being very uncomfortable on the ADC and, you know, a first-time deck, and FaZe not being super comfortable in her role either, we decide not to just go and push Prime just because of the full team rotation we probably need. And we decide to aggressively split push. Now, unfortunately, me and FaZe both go down right here. We get a good bit of damage on this tier 2 tower, but we end up both going down. This Gideon rock, this was a good rock. But he got the kill, and, you know, unfortunately that happened. Wukong was able to get this tower very low, so it wasn't a total loss. It would have been nice to actually get a tower, but we've got almost all their tier 2s to where one minion wave will probably take them out without hero's assistance. This clip I had to throw in there just to show I don't have a whole lot of experience with Yin. I did notice where their Murdoch was, and I was able to come in here. FaZe ended up pulling him out, and, you know, he ended up getting away. And then I got this FaZe very low, but I think she was just about half a step on the other side of my whip, so I couldn't hit her. And they ended up both getting away. After their ADC and their support get away, we end up trying to get this Gideon, and I end up latching onto Wukong, and we just turn around and let him go. I pick up the Raptors. I cannot tell you how sad I was to see all three of those heroes get away. If you didn't know, Yin's ultimate does stop the Raptors' spitballs, so you can use this to, you know, escape or stay alive like I did until someone else shows up. I thought we were going to have a little faster rotation there, but, you know, hey, it all ended up great. We did miss those 3 kills, but we were able to secure Raptors. After I get back from tower, Wukong and FaZe are pushed up a little bit and get into a little bit of a engagement. Our team collapses on them, and we're able to secure both these kills. You know, yeah, at this point in the match, we've really had just a lot of staggered deaths on their side. You know, they did get some team rotation here, but unfortunately, we were able to, you know, really clean them up. So, you know, they're really struggling because, you know, they've constantly got somebody down. And at this point in the match, you know, those staggered deaths are just really hurting. And with this nice little 3-pick we got, we were actually able to go up and get the enemy mid inhib. And again, this Murdoch is just, he's in a bad spot. You know, he was going to lose that tower. He had 4 of us there. I would have got out of there if I was him. You know, it's better to just back away. He did end up getting a pick on Kwong, but, you know, if our Kwong wouldn't have pushed up there, he would have stayed close to that inhib, and we would have been able to get him. You know, all in all, it was a good job on their part, but, you know, really what got us was their team spawned back in. and were able to push us down. Once we got that inhib, we were going to leave no matter what. We just, you know, stayed out our welcome just a little too long, but, you know, that's okay. We got an inhib. We've got our lanes pushing fairly well. You know, right now they're kind of getting everything together just because, you know, we were able to push so well. Here's a great example of Gideon using his ult, you know, in a fairly poor way. He actually comes in and uses his ult as an engagement, which, you know, it was a well-placed ultimate. I believe he was on 3 heroes. But, you know, with their Grux being low and retreating, you know, I was able to focus Gideon and, you know, absolutely destroy him. So, when you have a Gideon, you need to have a good team comp, and you cannot use that as an engage. You need to use that as a control tool. You know, hey, Grux pulled everybody together, now let's go and ult them. Or, you know, Steel went and ulted them. Aurora, you know, a Decker cages up. Anything like that, that's more of an engaging ultimate, or, you know, a engaging type of ability. They had a full team rotation on me and FaZe and Kwong right here. And I actually have no idea how we ended up getting out of there. We probably should have died. I was able to put my ult out to slow him down, and I got out. I'm not exactly sure why, but me, Kwong, and FaZe all kind of split up right there. Kwong ended up actually going down. FaZe got very low, and I decided to go over there just to make sure that they weren't going to tower dive, and we ended up getting her out of there. After getting that kill on Kwong, for whatever reason, Murdoch actually stayed to push this tier 2 tower. Now, he's at low health, and, you know, I'm not exactly sure what his thought was on this, but I'm able to get the kill fairly easy. FaZe ended up ulting me right on my last hit, which, you know, hey, that's fine. We'll make me run a little faster, and we're going to go ahead and just push this lane down a little bit. Now, their ADC has, you know, had quite a few deaths at this point, and especially in this late game, it's really important that he stays alive to really help out the team. But unfortunately, he's just kind of making bad calls, in my opinion, you know, staying just way too close and staying way too long in fights. Now, I was able to get this tier 2 tower, and FaZe ended up pulling me out. We're going to just retreat from this point. There's really no reason to try even to push this inhib. And we're going to rotate to mid to try to clean that up a little. We end up getting collapsed on over here close to the safe lane. And, you know, everybody on our team ended up collapsing too. So we had a pretty good team fight. Gideon used his ult that let us get a kill. This Kwong was just so low, and this phase pull really kind of changed the flow of this. But their Gideon actually came in and ulted and ended up getting us too. So we had some decent trades back and forth. You know, this team fight ended up going in their favor, but we've actually got all of our lanes pushed at this point, and, you know, they're really not able to capitalize on anything because they've got to spend, you know, a good 45 seconds pushing lanes back. A good 10 minutes goes by and not a whole lot happens. We actually ended up getting Prime, and they defended really well against it. But we were there the next time Prime popped in. I actually had FaZe ult me right at the end because I noticed their Gideon was heading over and I wanted to secure this Prime. We end up killing a few of their heroes right here and just make a really good push down mid lane and end up securing this win. I'd like to give everybody on the team a shout out. Mathis32, Easy1C1, and Powerman. We were all in comms and had a 4 stack. Shadow92091 He was our jungler. He wasn't in comms with us, but he played very well. All in all, we had a great team, and this was a really fun match. Well, that's going to wrap it up for my Safe Lane Yin playthrough. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, show me some love. Maybe leave a comment. If there's anything you'd like to see or, need me to explain better, be sure to let me know and I'll get right back with you. Well, as always, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and we'll see all y'all in the next video.